in the show note.
Craziest realizations you've ever come to in your life?
I don't think it's that crazy, but just how much time you have.
Alright, that's a lot different to what I was going to say.
What was yours?
I was going to say, when you realise that you can, instead of taking your, when you pee and you put your shorts down like that, realising that you can just pull it through your shorts and just pee with your shorts.
You always do that.
Staying around your waistband.
Okay, well,
that's completely different.
So different. Okay, then if you want to go down that topic, if you
I don't want to go down that topic.
Let's stay with rabbit hole.
Let's stay with yours.
No, we'll come back to mine. How come then, this is a bit foul, but how come with
bum gun,
the wiping, if you get something on your leg, dog shit, you wouldn't just wipe it with a tissue. You'd probably get soap.
Yeah, you'd probably soap it off and
soap it up.
Yeah.
Then how come when you wipe, it's fine just to wipe with paper?
Because I've never thought about it right before, but this is my first instinctual thought. You don't get dog shit on your leg 2 to 4 times a day.
Yeah, I understand that. But
that's why. If you only shat once every 4 months, like you did when dog shit got on your leg, you probably would be a bit more sanitary with it. Because you go to the bathroom for number 2 quite regularly, for poo-poos, it's such a regular thing that it's just, you've got to be efficient with your time.
Yeah, I get that, but still, you got to ponder that. Do you ponder that?
Nah.
I read that somewhere the other day. I was like, yeah, that is true.
It's true because it's actually, when you think about it, it's quite...
Because a lot of the Western world, when they travel Asia or Europe or wherever, and there's bum guns, they're like, what is this about?
I don't use them. I think it just feels weird.
But then you process that thought and you're like, I love a bum gun, don't get me wrong. I have one at home, I love them.
Yeah. But that's due to efficiency.
And it's cleaner.
Yeah, but I don't know. I reckon it's mostly because of efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas because that's why everyone's wiping their butt, because of efficiency.
Yeah. That's just a realisation I came to. When we're going down your way, but going back to my way, I think you just got so much time in your life.
Yeah, you know what? You got so much time, but you don't at the same time.
You don't have so much time, but you do. When I was thinking about going to PT, starting PT, I was like, how am I going to do it earning $100 a week at the start? But then, I don't know, if it doesn't work out for 2 years, let's go back to what I was doing.
Yeah, go back to corporate. No, it's true, yeah. Time's a weird one for me because we have so much time, yeah, and I take that approach with everything. I'm like, you know what? Do what you have to do, let it ride out and let time do its thing, and eventually you'll have time on your side. But at the same time, the older I'm getting now, the more I'm thinking, okay, time is actually the factors I have, say I've got my goals and my ambitions and what I want, I'm combating against time. Time's not necessarily working with me now.
You do have to be conscious of it.
Definitely.
100%. But I think there's a lot of pressure from people where they're like, I don't know, they just got to do things so quick.
Yeah. I think so too, but...
100% you got to be conscious, and I agree with what you said there, but... Yeah, I just think...
Especially here in Australia, maybe in the rest of the world, but especially in Australia, I think when you're 15... you have to have a meeting about what you want to do, for your profession when you grow up. Which is so young, man. When you're 15 years old, I
had no clue what I wanted to do at 15.
Play Crash Bandicoot all day, I don't know, and FIFA.
Yeah.
But, so I definitely don't advocate for that, but I do strongly advocate for getting stuff done early.
Yeah.
Because it opens up so many avenues and potential.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
With time.
Well, think about the last year. What are we in? May? We're already in May. It's been 5 months of 2025. Already. Yeah. What have we achieved? It's gone so quick. I feel like the other day we were in Esperance in January.
We had our crisis meeting.
Yeah, and it's already been almost half a year since then.
Yeah, it is.
So that's how quick time's moving. You do have time, but also at the same time it moves really quick. But I do understand specifically where you're coming from, where you said like you had the realization of like, oh, I've got time. Time's on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't take the piss with it, with time, but at the same time, you can try out things.
Exactly. But
whether it's to with career, travel.
I mean, the older you get as well, though, like especially getting further into business. For example, 2 years ago when you were what, 24?
25.
25, you were travelling around Europe for 4 months.
Yeah.
How realistic would that be right now? With business, with the age you're at, with the demands on your age.
It'd be pretty good, don't get me wrong, it'd be pretty fun.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
But yeah, it wouldn't be a smart thing to do.
Exactly. And that's where time comes in. But craziest realizations, I didn't even consider this question as like
deep
as you did. I was just talking about peeing with my shorts still around my,
so you're
my waistband still around my waist. But
you're probably the only person that does that.
No way. I can't remember.
That I know. So.
I can't remember who I saw do it. I just remember seeing someone do it and just thinking like, I just need to lift my shorts kind of up near my groin and I can pee wherever I want.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
But if we're talking about actual craziest realizations you ever come to, if I had to think about it quickly, I would think about probably that just nothing exists except the current moment right now, as cliche as it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't, like nothing really matters except for right now, but then right now is the past and the future. So that's an important thing. That realization is kind of weird. And the other realization, which is probably the most crucial realization that everyone should know, is very, very correlative with what I just said, is like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever you're dealing with, it is what it is, regardless. There's nothing that's good or bad or anything. It's just literally what's going on, and there's nothing you can do about it in most circumstances.
Yeah, that is true.
That was like a very paradigm shifting thing for me, because I definitely went from like framing things as objectively bad and objectively good to like something that others would view as objectively bad happening now. I will just go like, oh, that's happened. Next thing.
How do you respond to it?
I'm not going to dwell on it and be like, oh, that was bad, and so that like I'm kind of the victim in this scenario and it didn't work out for like reasons unknown. It's like, nah, it just happened. It just happened and that's it. And it's like, you're not in control of that. No one's in control of that, and you just got to like respond to it in whatever way you want.
It's definitely how you react to things. Plays a big role.
Yeah.
Another thing that a lot of the time as humans, you're always wanting something to happen, or you're always looking forward to that thing. Could be anything. For example, holidays. And then you get to the holidays.
And you don't.
And you're already thinking about the next thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't wait for my next holidays. Like, you're always wishing for something, and then when you get to that point, you're already thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. We do it. But it's good to really think about the present.
No, true. That's why I really love hiking and mountain climbing, because you're just like surrounded by nature and just super high. Something about being super high in the sky that is just like fucking weird and very good. You're very mindful at the time.
Very present.
Yeah, and so like for example, when I went on that 9-day hike, it was just like that is a moment where I actually did pretty much not do that, where I was just like, I'm here right now, this is what I'm doing, I'm just walking like
that's good.
12 hours a day. You're right, people are just so like goal orientated, and then when they achieve a goal, they're not even like, they don't take a moment to appreciate what they've done, and they're just like on to the next one. I know we're like me especially, but we are always like very pedantic about like continuous improvement and continually like achieving things. But we should really sit down and just think like, the fact that we do have our own businesses and one together is like quite a big accomplishment. If you told either of us that like 4 years ago, if someone said to you 4 years ago, you will be doing this, you would probably be like, that I would be so happy if that, I wouldn't need anything else.
Yeah, so true.
But now that we're here and we are doing that, we're both like, oh, we need more, we want more, we need to achieve more. Yeah.
That's so true.
So that's the thing. All about that mindfulness. I've been on the big mindfulness train at the moment.
Mindfulness is so important.
It's absolutely...
And everyone finds it in different ways.
Yeah.
Like some people like it through meditating or whatever. I struggle with that. But I find, like we said there, when you walk, especially if it's hard and you got to really focus on, like, I don't know, where your foot is going.
Yeah.
It really makes you think. That's all you're thinking about. It's all you're processing.
Yeah, it's literally that process-driven approach. It's like about the journey, not the kind of ending, if that makes sense. Yeah, people, I think instant gratification is the worst thing in the world. And like, look at all the things people have problems with nowadays. Young people, doom scrolling's like an absolute epidemic. Vaping's an absolute epidemic. All these things that are heavily revolved around instant gratification because it just feels like so good, but also numbing to get that instant gratification.
So that quick dopamine hit, eh?
Yep. When the real good shit is not instantly gratifying. It's about that journey and about like actually...
Well, how many people now can sit through a movie without going for a quick doom? Yeah,
literally. Man, I remember when I was a kid, like you go to the movies, it's pitch black, no one's touching their phone because you're watching the movie.
Now, you can always see people do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bad problem with instant gratification, especially with like...
I think everyone does.
It doesn't matter what form it is, like doom scrolling, eating food, whatever. But the growth is literally just like meeting at that point where you can get that instant gratification and going like, nah, I'll skip that, I'll skip that, I'll skip that. And then next thing you know, you're just like on a super yacht with like 600 strippers just in the middle of the Turkish sea.
Sour turkey.
Yeah. But no, that's definitely true. That's your craziest realisation was definitely better than my peen down your shorts.
Yeah, we had a bit of when you asked me that was a bit
of a discrepancy this week.
Just a little bit. But we both answered it in both contexts.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Jump.